Coming up on UIWtv, importance of organ donation and how it could save you or a loved one's life. 11 years of Meet the Mission here at UIW and how this Pillar Stone event has changed over this last decade. Light of the World, the new animated feature film that chronicles the life of Jesus Christ, written by a UIW professor and where you can go see it. All of this and more on UIWtv.
Hello and welcome back to UIWtv. We're here to bring you all the latest in news, entertainment, and sports. I'm Maurilio Cruz.
And I'm Ellie Vallor. We're so glad you're tuned in with us today for our first newscast of the school year. Leo, how's your semester been so far?
You know, I think it started off pretty great. I got a lot of great professors, a lot of great classes, and some of which I get to share with you. But how's your semester been, Ellie?
My semester's been looking great as well. I've got a lot of opportunities lined up for me.
Hey, just like this opportunity right here.
Exactly.
And we hope your semester's been off to a good start too. But with that, let's check out what's been happening here on campus. UIW made the National 2025 Great Colleges to Work For list for the 17th year in a row. The survey highlighted UIW for its strengths in 4 key areas: mission and pride, shared governance, faculty experience, and fostering a sense of inclusion, belonging, and community. This continued recognition highlights UIW's commitment to creating a positive and supportive work environment for its staff and faculty. And great news for our School of Media and Design, professor and doctoral candidate Adam Nash was recognized as a top 50 member of the American Society of Interior Designers. Much of Nash's research focuses on how public spaces serve the vulnerable populations of San Antonio. He carries this passion into his teaching, showing students a human-centered perspective. Interior design is not just an aesthetic, it's a global effort towards social justice.
Connecting with the students, getting to know the students, but also seeing the progression of their ideas and sort of where we're going in the future. I'm always inspired by my students.
UIW is an institutional member of ASID, and although the interior design community is small, the opportunities for students are plenty. From continued education opportunities to professional networking, the program continues to support students and faculty and their involvement in the field. Congratulations to Professor Nash for his recognition. And whether it's in the arts or in the sciences, members of UIW are making contributions in many other ways. Healthcare students learn the life-saving impact of organ donation through the powerful story of a liver donor. Here's Jasmine Valero with more.
If you had a parent that needed a liver, now you know somebody who's done it.
UIW's Fique School of Pharmacy welcomed special guest speaker, Ms. Sienna. Her speech helped spread awareness about the importance of organ donating and its ability to save lives, serving as a reminder, you never know who may one day be in need of a transplant.
I can't imagine what it might feel like to need a liver donor and not have one, so it really has opened my eyes to how blessed I am.
Typically, donors are close relatives to the recipients, but not in Ms. Sienna's story. She always felt called to donate to someone in need, in this case, to a total stranger. She inspires UIW students to do the same.
Ms. Sienna opted in to be a liver donor. I didn't know it was a thing. I thought it was more of like, oh, my dad needs it, so I'll become a donor. I didn't know that was an option, so I definitely do see myself also wanting to do that in the future.
The liver is one of the few organs able to regenerate, making recovery possible for both the donor and receiver. As challenging as the process can be, nearly 99% of donors go on to live long, healthy lives. The experience shows the donor's selflessness, reminding students that even one person can make a life-saving difference.
It kind of follows our mission, right? We want to give back, we want to serve the community, and just knowing more information about it can help. If they're not going to be a donor, they can help spread the word and spread the knowledge.
For UIWtv, I'm Jasmine Valero.
And what an inspiring story. To learn more about the Fique School of Pharmacy, visit their website at pharmacy.uiw.edu.
Have you ever heard of SGA? Well, they have heard of you and from you. While they're known for hosting major events like Light the Way and Golden Harvest, that list is soon to be expanded. This year, the Student Government Association hosts open forums to address students' concerns. They are working on issues with Sodexo and providing fundraising opportunities for student organizations.
One of the things that definitely brought me onto SGA was the fact that everyone's different. We have different opportunities for everyone to get involved. You get to know different stories, different backgrounds, and it's just an experience you really can't get anywhere else.
If you're interested in applying for SGA, they are currently looking for a senator. You can contact SGA President Tyler Simmons at tjsimmons@student.uiwtx.edu. The requirements are maintaining your GPA, attending the meetings with SGA, and also being certified with UIW Engage. If you're not certified, you can also do training they offer there. The Advising Center hosted an academic toolbox at the Landing in the Student Engagement Center last week. This event allowed students to be better prepared for the semester ahead. The students met with success coaches who provided Outlook and Canvas tools, along with different techniques for time management.
Today we had what we called an academic toolbox, where we presented online, technological, and physical elements that students can use.
The Advising Office hopes to reach a larger audience and help new and returning students. If you have any questions or in need of help, reach out to the Advising Office at the 3rd floor of the Student Engagement Center. Now grab your pumpkin spice lattes and cozy sweaters, because fall is finally here. Let's turn it over to Khalil Ray for this week's weather forecast.
Good afternoon, I'm UIW Meteorologist student Khalil Ray, taking a quick look at how it looks outside right now. We are currently sitting at a temperature of 86 degrees, not too bad, and then at dew point, 63 degrees, and then also we have a pretty calm wind coming from the northeast at about 5 miles an hour, and then we're also dealing with some partly cloudy skies, even though it has started to get a little bit cloudier. Now, taking a look at what our high temperatures are going to be across the area, you can see that we're sitting at 92 in San Antonio, as well as New Braunfels. And then as you make your way up towards the Hill Country and Rock Springs and Kerrville and Fredericksburg, you're sitting anywhere from the low to mid 80s. And then as you make your way further west towards the Rio Grande Valley, you're sitting in those lower 90 temperatures as well. Now we're going to quickly switch gears towards the tropics and talk about a couple of storms. So first off, we have Hurricane Gabrielle. You can see that it's still barely a Category 1 hurricane, if anything, with winds at about 75 miles an hour, a pressure of 981 millibars, and it is hauling to the east at 32 miles an hour. And we actually have a few areas that will be impacted by this storm, including the Azores, which are under a hurricane warning, as they're expected to see this storm pass through around 8 o'clock later on tonight, before it continues on as a post-tropical cyclone towards Spain, and then eventually some parts of northern Africa as well. Now, the next system is a little bit closer to home. We have Tropical Storm Umberto, which just formed, as a matter of fact, yesterday, with winds of about 45 miles an hour and a pressure of 1,006 millibars. And this was not moving as fast, and it's moving, as a matter of fact, 8 miles an hour towards the northwest, a little bit closer towards America. And as you can see, it is expected to strengthen to a hurricane and then later on a major hurricane. But the good news is it is expected to make that turn before making any kind of impact on the U.S. mainland. But Bermuda and other areas across the coast, I would be on the lookout for some of those rip currents and some of those larger waves. Now, going into our next 5-day forecast, as you can see, we're not expecting any impact from any tropical storm, as we're going to be seeing some pretty clear skies. Before Monday, we're going to be seeing some of those clouds return, and temperatures are going to be anywhere from the low 90s to the upper 80s. And then the morning is supposed to look even better with temperatures in the upper 60s. We haven't really seen the 60s that much since a few months ago, as a matter of fact, and that really shows you how we are starting to finally enter that fall phase. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Khalil. It's nice that we're getting some cooler weather for a change. And every September, UIW hosts its Meet the Mission event. I personally went out to see how one nonprofit partner is making a big impact on San Antonio's unhoused population. UIW's Office of Mission and Ministries organizes Meet the Mission, a day dedicated to service. This year, hundreds of volunteers spread out across the city to help nonprofits. One of those stops? Corazon Ministries. Volunteers started the day by learning about the challenges unhoused individuals face. Then, they rolled up their sleeves, splitting into groups to assemble overdose response kits, prep meals, and serve lunch.
to provide them with the many resources that we have to offer, whether it be needle exchange, showers, food, legal aid, Hep C and syphilis testing.
For Corazon Ministries, the help is vital. The nonprofit works directly with San Antonio's homeless community, offering housing case management, peer support, ID recovery, and connections to healthcare. They even train agencies and first responders on mental health, substance use, and overdose response.
Make sure that they have the information available so that if they're ever in a life or death situation, that they have the knowledge to administer Narcan safely and save someone's life.
And that mission is only strengthened when volunteers step in. By donating their time, students help stretch resources further so Corazon can focus on providing stability and hope for those working to rebuild their lives.
We distributed about 22,000 last year, and so this was an effort to help increase our capacity to distribute those kits to students, community members, and organizations all throughout Texas.
17 years strong, Meet the Mission continues to connect UIW with San Antonio, building partnerships and giving back one project at a time. For UIWtv, I'm Maurilio Cruz. And if you'd like to get involved, Corazon Ministries says they're always looking for volunteers. Applications can be found at their website, corazonsa.org.
Shifting gears from UIW to the San Antonio community, the Women in Aviation Alamo City chapter hosted their 11th annual Girls Aviation Day. I personally had the opportunity to see what this event offers.
Recently, Girls Inc. hosted the 11th annual Girls in Aviation Day in partnership with the Women in Aviation Alamo chapter. The nationwide initiative is designed to inspire the next generation of leaders in aviation and aerospace, especially women and minorities who remain unrepresented in these fields. This year's event invited attendees to step into the cockpit of possibility.
So Girls Inc. wanted to hold this event to basically show everybody that girls can do whatever they want, whether that be aviation, STEM, careers, scientists, but this one specifically in aviation.
From flight simulators and drone flying workshops to hands-on aircraft building, the goal was to spark curiosity and show young people that careers in science and engineering are within reach. Attendees also had the chance to meet female pilots, engineers, and aerospace experts, including women of color who have broken barriers in their own careers. Their stories of resilience and achievement showed attendees that success in STEM doesn't have just one face, and that representation matters.
Teaches women to be strong, smart, and bold. We do any ages from K through 12, so if you want to enroll your girls, I would definitely encourage it.
The event also highlighted the GEMS program, Girls in Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. GEMS is dedicated to expanding access for unrepresented groups, opening doors for both girls and boys, while emphasizing diversity, equity, and inclusion in STEM pathways.
We do have information there that kids, they can do different crafts and things like that. They can also learn about scholarships, all sorts of information, but there's information for parents as well on there.
By celebrating diversity and showcasing women and minorities already making a difference, Girls in Aviation Day underscored a hopeful truth. The future of STEM is brighter, stronger, and more innovative when everyone has a chance to take part. For UIWtv, I'm Ellie Vallor.
Personally, I had a great time, especially with the food trucks that were there at the event. But if you'd like to keep up with these events, you can follow them on Instagram at womeninaviation_Alamo City chapter. Now, Leo, besides checking out these awesome events, what's something else you recommend students do in their free time?
Well, I personally recommend that students, check out San Antonio, it's a lovely city, or maybe just pick up a hobby. But what about you, Ellie?
I think maybe they should just go outside, maybe explore our local parks and gardens. But I know that a lot of our viewers would probably say listening to some music. And with that brings us to our social media question of the week. The question is, if your life was a soundtrack, what would it be? We'll circle back to your answers at the end of this show. For now, sit tight. UIWtv will be right back.
What's my routine? I don't know. I guess I just... Well, I eat healthy and I work out. There is help out there for you, and recovery is possible.
How was your day?
Good, but I have a lot of work to do, sadly.
Well, I'm sure you'll get it all done. Oh, and when you're done, can you help me with something later?
Sir?
Are you done yet?
You are watching UIWtv.
Welcome back. I'm Danna Ramos, your entertainment insider for today. The Independencia Mercado recently brought a taste of Latin America to Westgate Circle. The International Student Office kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month, showcasing Mexican culture with mariachi and Anahuac indigenous dancing. The event celebrated Mexico's independence from Spain, which was declared on September 16, 1810.
Our event today is called Independencia. We're celebrating Latin American culture as a whole. So, of course, September 16th is known as Mexican Independence Day, but several countries in Central and South America have Independence Days, and so our event today is a way to celebrate all of those cultures, all of those countries, and bring them together.
The event had lots of little shops where students could buy items from Latin America. They also offered aguas frescas from the regions and tacos and popcorn. The International Student Office will be hosting the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival Hangul Day celebration next. So be sure to be on the lookout for these types of events on the UIW Engage page through your Cardinal apps. The Hello Kitty Cafe truck recently made a stop at North Star Mall, celebrating Hello Kitty's 50th anniversary and the truck's 10th. At one point, fans waited up to 2 hours in line for limited edition merchandise and treats. The truck featured cookies, macaroons, and pastries, along with t-shirts, tote bags, plush toys, and other anniversary items. The last time San Antonio saw the Hello Kitty truck was back in February, so be sure to look out for future tour dates to see when the truck returns. It's official, rockers! Camp Rock 3 is under production with the Jonas Brothers reprising their roles as Nate, Jason, and Shane Gray. Fans were speculating a third movie due to a comment made by Joe during an episode of Hot One Versus. Their theories were confirmed last week when Disney Channel officially announced the franchise's third installment. I personally am very excited to see Jonas Brothers back at the camp. Speaking of making a comeback, McKenna Moczygemba is back to bring us the first music in a minute of the semester.
Welcome to this week's Music in a Minute. I'm here to bring you all the latest hot goss of the music world. Everyone is looking KJ Appa's way, as the Riverdale star is rumored to have recently made an alter ego called Mr. Fantasy. Seen in the 60s-inspired twee bob and disco sleaze aesthetic, his self-titled single Mr. Fantasy has officially entered Spotify's viral 50 chart in both the US and globally at #1, transitioning him from being a TikTok star to a mainstream artist. Fans around the globe are asking, what do you mean Justin Bieber is headlining Coachella 2026? This marks JB's first concert since his tour in 2022 that got canceled after 49 shows due to his ongoing health issues. To watch him play for you, tickets can be purchased at Coachella.com. Everyone's favorite Ginger recently released a new album titled Play. Inspired by his recent month-long trip to India, Ed Sheeran stated, quote, "Everyone I met on my travels in India was so kind, welcoming, and joyful, and that energy influences a lot of the album's direction," end quote. Following this album, the 34-year-old star has a posthumous album, Eject. As stated in his will, his wife Cherry will pick 10 songs to put in the album after his passing. Well, that's a wrap on this week's Music in a Minute. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, McKenna. I just know that Ed Sheeran album is going to have us all feeling emotional. NBC's Saturday Night Live announced the hosts and musical guests for their first 3 shows of the season. After the exit of cast members Ego Nwodim, Heidi Gardner, Michael Longfellow, Devin Walker, and Emil Joachim, viewers weren't too happy with where the show was heading. Luckily, this announcement of celebrity guests allows SNL fans something to look forward to. Bad Bunny and Doja Cat will be in the first show on October 4th, Amy Poehler and Role Model on October 11th, and Sabrina Carpenter will be both host and musical guests on October 18th. Taylor Swift is not only taking the musical charts, but also the box office charts. The singer announced via Instagram that the official theatrical release party for her album, The Life of a Showgirl, will run from October 3rd to October 5th. The event will follow the format of her Eras Tour concert film and will run for about an hour and a half. Also included will be an exclusive world premiere of her music video for her single titled The Fate of Ophelia. Make sure to catch Taylor in theaters next week. Speaking of movie theaters, Michael Barrett is back with the final cut. What do you have for us today, Michael?
Welcome back to The Final Cut. I'm your host, Michael Barrett, and today we'll be talking about Light of the World, which released on September 5th, 2025 in the United States. The film was co-directed by Tom Bancroft and John J. Schaefer, and was written by UIW's very own David Armstrong, as well as Drew Armstrong. The film stars Ian Hanlon as Jesus and follows Jesus' life, death, and resurrection through the eyes of the youngest apostle, John. While the ages of the apostles aren't specified in the Bible, they're generally considered to be between the ages of 15 and 30, with John being the youngest. This generally contrasts the fully grown, bearded, 20 to 40-year-old men that the apostles are usually portrayed as in the media. While Light of the World is described as being an animated Christian drama film, it's definitely also intended to make the story of Jesus accessible for younger audiences, and depicting John as being in his early teens provides a successful audience surrogate. The film is 2D animated and for the most part looks excellent. In terms of cinematography, the walking on water scene is by far and away the standout. With that being said, in some parts of the film the animation quality is much lower, sometimes resembling old school Flash animation. The budget of the film was $20 million, which is definitely on the lower end for a feature film. The only films we've talked about here on The Final Cut with lower budgets are Saw X, which cost $13 million, Borat, which cost $18 million, Late Night with the Devil, which likely cost less than $5 million, and Sherlock Holmes Mayor of the Night, which was crowdfunded and cost just a few thousand. The film has received generally positive reviews from critics and audiences alike, with most of the praise directed towards the values or the message of the film, as well as making the content suitable for children. On the more negative side, the film's pacing has been criticized, as well as some of the added comedy. Additionally, the film ends with Jesus popping up and asking you to scan a QR code to learn more about the organization behind the film, which, while being hilarious, took some viewers out of the movie. Speaking of which, you should all be sure to scan this QR code to learn more about the future of The Final Cut. Either way, I think Light of the World succeeds as a film, and I enjoyed watching it, even if I am less familiar with the source material than others. I'd have to rate the film a 4 out of 5 large bags of fish, and I can't wait to see what Dr. Armstrong works on next. Until then, I'm Michael Barrett, and thanks for tuning in to The Final Cut.
Thanks, Michael. I personally loved the movie, and it was great seeing Dr. Armstrong's work come to life. San Antonio is getting a taste of nostalgia with its very own free Blockbuster. It works a lot like a lending library, but instead of books, it's movies. You can swap out DVDs, VHS tapes, and bring something new home for free. It's a part of a nationwide movement, keeping physical media alive. The first location is inside Weekend World on McCarty Road. So if you're looking to shake up your next movie night, San Antonio's free Blockbuster might be worth a stop. Well, that's a wrap on entertainment. For UIWtv, I'm Danna Ramos. But don't go just yet. Sport is up next. now, Jamie really needs to start knowing when to mind her own business.
Professor Richardson?
Whatever. It's just not my place to be sticking my nose into other people's businesses just because of some specific.
Maybe she's trying to teach about
No,
responsibility.
because tell me why I got a notification from your account from freaking Cassandra asking if you wanted to hang out.
Listen.
You were supposed to have dinner with me. Would you rather go hang out with Cassandra?
We have-
Am I not good enough for you?
No. We have something to work on, okay?
Do you have any plans for over the break?
No, I don't really have any plans. Just same old, same old. What about you?
I mean, I don't have anything, but there's always things I want to do, and I just never end up doing.
I don't have to say something, but I should.
All it takes is one person. If you or someone you know is experiencing emotional abuse, text CONNECT to 741741.
Yeah, let's go off the train. I'm heading that way. Yeah, man, I can meet you outside. Whoa.
They're people, not monsters. If you are struggling, call or visit 211 for help.
Glad to see you're still tuned in with us. I'm Aaron Rios, and it's time to talk UIW sports. The UIW football team fell in a top 20 matchup against the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks this past Saturday. The score remained the same until the third quarter when the Cardinals found themselves once again in the red zone. Lontrell Turner scored his first touchdown of the year, but the Cardinals missed the extra point, leaving the score to 21-16. By the end of the game, the Lumberjacks took a lead of 31-23 with a 50-yard field goal. Moving on to women's soccer, the Lady Cardinals opened their conference season by shutting out Nichols 2-0 in the first game on September 18th, then rallying in the second half to earn a 2-2 draw against Lamar this past Sunday afternoon, keeping the Cardinals 3-2 overall. And that's a quick recap of what's happened in Cardinal athletics recently. And the NFL season is currently headed into Week 4, and one of the most anticipated matchups is NBC's Sunday Night Football between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. The two teams are facing off for the first time since their 2023 Wild Card playoff game, where the Packers won against the Cowboys. This time, things are looking a bit different after former Dallas Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons was traded to the Packers this offseason. The trade was highly publicized with plenty of drama surrounding it in typical Dallas Cowboy fashion. This will be Parsons' first game back in Arlington since the trade, and both teams are looking to bounce back from their Week 3 losses. The game kicks off Sunday night at 7:20 on NBC. Put on your seatbelts because the NASCAR Cup Series is at its halfway point. They'll be headed to the Kansas Speedway for their second round of 12 race this Sunday at 2 p.m. This race is also known as the Hollywood Casino 400, and some of the favorites include Danny Hamlin and Kyle Larson are the favorites to win this race. You can watch the race on Fox or NBC. It will also be available on streaming platforms like Peacock and Amazon Prime Video. Now that you're all caught up, let's take a look at this week's games to watch. Women's volleyball took a trip to Louisiana. They'll be taking on the Northwestern State University Lady Demons tonight at 6:30 p.m. Taking things back to the nest, men's soccer team is up against Houston Christian University. That game will be taking place in the Benson Stadium tomorrow at 7 p.m. Then, this Saturday marks the 5th game of the UIW football season. The Cardinals are competing with Abilene Christian University here at the Benson Stadium. Be sure to stop by early because the Red Zone tailgate starts at 4 p.m. The first 500 students will also receive a free limited edition white rally towel. And finally, the volleyball Lady Cardinals will return to the nest for their game against Nichols. That will be happening next Thursday, 6 p.m. at the McDermott Center. All the games will also be available on ESPN+. And that's all we have for sports today. For UIWtv, I'm Aaron Rios. But before I go, let's turn it back to our social media question. If my life was a soundtrack, I think it'd be the Grease soundtrack. But what did our viewers have to say, Leo?
Thanks, Aaron. Let's take a look, shall we? Sage said, "Don't Stop Believin' by Journey." Shania said, "It would be a mixture of genres, including Broadway musicals, pop, jazz, and a little screamo/heavy metal." And Kay said, "Difference for Darkness" by Martin O'Donnell. Those are some pretty good soundtracks. And if you'd like to participate next time, be sure to follow us and comment on Instagram at UIWtv. And that's the end of our first newscast. Thanks for joining us today.
Be sure to tune in for our second newscast on October 8th. Until next time, I'm Ellie Vallor.
And I'm Maurilio Cruz, and this has been UIWtv.